How are we doing, guys? ALTV, Leeds 2, Blackburn 1, and welcome to another episode of the Player Analysis Show. So this show, if you didn't catch us last week, is a new series I'm doing. Last season I had the player ratings, and this season I decided to do a different kind of angle on it. Go for more of a player analysis kind of style, like analyse the stats of individuals during the game to try and get an idea of their influence on the game, etc, etc, and any sort of interesting stats or trends from this particular match. If you didn't catch it last week, guys, that is pretty much what this is all about. And make sure you let us know what you think of the show and any sort of adjustments you want me to make to it better. Because at the end of the day, the main thing is you guys enjoy this, and it's not just me sort of like rambling on about nothing. So let's go on to the actual analysis itself then. Start with Costa in goal. Again, he didn't really have much to do yesterday. He couldn't do much about the goal. There was no other shots on target. I felt he did really well on crosses. He made 2 claims in the game, 2 big claims as well in that second half. You know, when Blackburn were piling players into the box, they had a lot of height, Blackburn, compared to us. That's something else I felt they had an advantage on set pieces. They did score from a set piece. They had that height advantage. It had to be key that the chances were it was unlikely we were going to win that many headers on side kind of set pieces, because there was height mismatches onto every single sort of option. You know, sort of like Derek Williams there, Sam Gallagher, Adarabeo as well. You know, a lot of height, you know, Blackburn had. So, you know, Bradley Dack had a lot of people to aim at, and there was big height mismatches, I felt, and it was key that Kiko was commanding. He had to command a lot of situations, because if you just left it onto the defence and people marking each other, there probably would have been more chances for Blackburn. But luckily, he was nice and commanding, making 2 claims in the game. His distribution, though, I felt was a bit off yesterday. There were some good moments, but a few passes where he was trying to play passes which weren't really on. You know, he was trying to find the full-backs in areas where they were getting really heavily marked. You know, and that shows, you know, 18 accurate long balls in the game, which is quite a lot for Kiko considering the style of play we play. Of course, he's going to launch the ball forward from time to time, but with our style of football, that is quite a lot over the game. But all in all, a decent enough performance of Kiko. Nothing much to really comment on. 7 out of 10 for me. And on to Luke Ayling. Now, Luke Ayling, you know, on that first goal, he has to take responsibility. You know, the goal that we gave away against Blackburn, I said the first goal, the goal we gave away, you know, on that set piece, Derek Williams got out ahead of him. You know, it wasn't a case of he lost his man, he just got out overpowered on that first goal. His position wasn't particularly great, but he recovered from that. You know, and finished his game really well. But before that, I felt he was travelling with the ball really well. He started the game nice and brightly, played a big part in that first goal. You know, lovely takedown off that beautiful Tyler Roberts pass, which we're going to get to later on in the player analysis. Used the ball really well, 2 key passes in the game, which is what you expect off Luke Ayling. And yeah, you know, I thought, you know, he played his part. You know, defensively, he was stopping a lot of crosses coming into the box off Stuart Downing. You know, Stuart Downing give him a test from time to time, but I thought he won that battle hands down for me. He was nice and disciplined, and he didn't let the error for that first goal get to him at all. I thought he was really solid in that second half as well. Nothing really happened on that on Blackburn's left hand side or right hand side. I felt we were comfortable on that side of the pitch. He got forward nicely, and yeah, as I said, travelled the ball well. I'll give him an 8 out of 10. There was nothing too outstanding stats wise from Luke Ayling compared to his last game against QPR, where he was top in pretty much everything in terms of interceptions, passes, tackles. But this game, a little bit quieter than that on that score, but he did revert back to his full-back position. And yeah, he's played a big part in the goal. He's recovered from his error. 8 out of 10 for me. I thought Luke Ayling, you have to say, made an excellent contribution all in all in the game. Ben White, man of the match for me. Ben White, absolutely fantastic. He had a big physical battle against Sam Gallagher, and he won almost every duel for me. You know, he's dominated that battle. You know, he's absolutely dominated that battle. You know, he's had to cover a couple of times. You know, when Sam Gallagher's tried to play off Cooper at times, I don't know why he was trying to do that, because Cooper wasn't making any errors. But the one slight error that Cooper made, I emphasise slight error, where he let the ball just go over him, just kind of mispositioned himself a little bit. Ben White recovered perfectly. You know, every single thing he just did with class as usual. You know, if it was a tackle, if it was an interception, if it was a block, if it was a header, it was never a case of just get the ball away. He was just trying to get us back on the counter attack, get us back in transition, and really impressive for me again. Yeah, and for me, I'm going to say I think he has been the player of the season so far, not just for ourselves in the Championship. You know, look at the big four, so far for me. It's Ben White, Romain Sawyers, and Matheus Pereira at West Brom, and then I've got to say, of course, Alexander Mitrovic at Fulham. Yeah, I think that's been the big 4 so far this season. I think Ben White's been most consistent out of the 4. You know, that's probably the 4 standouts I've seen so far this season. And I have to say, I think Ben White's been most consistent and has played the biggest part. You know, we conceded so few goals. I was surprised when we conceded yesterday, but it was only on the set piece. Blackburn didn't create anything from open play, which has to say great praise to the back four again, hence the high scores for the back four. But everything just does with class. He never looked phased. You know, when Blackburn were on top a little bit in the game, yeah, only for like sort of 10-20 minutes, Ben White just saw us through it. You know, he never really felt like we were under serious pressure. But as I say, he dominated the game. Just looking at my notes here, he had the most interceptions and most clearances in the game of everyone on the pitch. And I'm going to have to go for a 9 out of 10 for Ben White. I thought he was man of the match yesterday. Liam Cooper. Now, Liam Cooper was less involved defensively, as you'll see on the stats, but he kept his concentration really well. You know, when he had to come alive, he came alive at key moments. Aerially, I felt he was very dominant. Won more aerial duels than any other player on the pitch. There was no real massive standout moments defensively, unlike sort of like Ben White, but he was solid and composed for me. As I said, that one slight error where he sort of mispositioned himself on the long ball forward into Sam Gallagher, but we dealt with that really well. But what I thought did stand out with Liam Cooper yesterday was his distribution. He used the ball really well. He had the most touches and the most passes of everyone on the pitch. He had the best accuracy with 91% of his passes, and these weren't simple little 1-2 yard passes. He played 6 long passes yesterday, which is by far the most he's played all season. You know, he's loving that sort of diagonal ball into Costa, onto Luke Hayden from the left to the right wing to switch play really quickly, and he did that really well yesterday. It's quite a difficult one to rate Liam Cooper because he didn't really have to do much defensively, but nice tight use of the ball. I'll go a 7 out of 10. It was, I think most weeks ago, 7, 8 out of 10 for Liam Cooper. He's just so consistent, and he has been for the last 18 months. And onto the left back, Stuart Dallas. Now, I felt he drove forward really well in that first half. I didn't think he was massively tested by Adam Armstrong, but what he did do was when KP was getting tested by Bradley Dack, he came sort of inside and sort of made it a 2v1 situation on Bradley Dack, and he won the most tackles on the pitch. He won 4 tackles yesterday, and with quite an impressive win rate as well, at 67%. He attempted 6 and won 4 of them. His decision making and final pass I felt was a little bit off. There was a couple of moments in that first half where he drove forward, the spaces opened up for him, and either the decision making or the final pass and shot just wasn't quite on it for me. You know, he's making the wrong decision, or he blazed one over the bar early doors. But look, he's a left back at the end of the day. I'm not expecting fantastic end product of Stuart Dallas. But I think probably the most telling stats for our full-backs was that we had 9 inaccurate crosses yesterday from Luke Hayden and Stuart Dallas, and 0 accurate ones. So in terms of the work out wide into the box, I thought that could have been a lot better yesterday. But what does have to be pointed out was Blackburn had that aerial advantage on us, so we're probably going to win a lot of the crosses, a lot of the headers from the crosses anyway, so that's probably why that looks so dramatically bad. But all in all, nice and solid off Stuart Dallas, a 7 out of 10. So then that brings me on to KP. Now KP is a difficult one to rate, probably the most difficult one of the whole of this sort of episode for me. I thought the first 30 minutes, I'll be honest, I thought KP was poor. You know, his passing wasn't great, he didn't really create any angles, and he felt he gave Dak a bit too much space. You know, Dak was showing some nice little touches in that lot. Luckily, Dak wasn't totally on it yesterday for me. Not to the standards he can be at. You know, I don't think he ever really liked scoring, which is obviously great praise to KP as well. But he improved. He improved as soon as we went ahead in the game. I thought he was much better. You know, Dak did drive past him a couple of times, but you know, KP still won 3 tackles on him and probably won that kind of battle for me all in all. And he actually made 6 blocks as well, which is an extraordinarily high figure. But what that shows is that Dak was trying to take a couple of shots from distance, but KP was getting in front of him every single time to stop him getting those proper shots off that probably Dak can, because he is the main goal threat in that team. So great credit to him. Just looking at stats as well, I think his choice of pass and his passing quality was very poor yesterday by KP standards. It was below par yesterday. I must emphasise by KP standards. You know, he played 46 passes at a 76% success rate, which is very low for KP standards. And his choice was quite poor as well, in the sense that he had 5 inaccurate long passes. He was trying to force things a little bit for me. He was finding it difficult to get the ball in areas where he likes to get it in. You know, I said about Dak, Armstrong down in, sort of forming a trident to make it really triangles to make it really difficult for KP to kind of play out. He needed Tyler Robinson, Mateusz Klich to drop deep for him a couple of times, so we got the ball forwards. But look, KP was good again. You know, he recovered in that first 30 minutes. That's why I probably say he was one of the best players on the pitch. The fact that he recovered from that first 30 minutes, you know, it could have got to him. It didn't. It never gets to KP. Nothing fazed him. Fantastic vision and pass into Bamford, you know, to create the second goal for me as well. Fantastic ball that. And yeah, he played 3 key passes in the game as well, which is, again, to go along with the 4 he played against QPR. These are extraordinary numbers for a holding midfielder. Absolutely extraordinary numbers. I don't think any other holding midfielder, well, no other holding midfielder in this league is doing what he is doing in an attacking sense. So 7 out of 10 for me all in all. Not KP at his absolute best, but we recovered from those first 30 minutes, and I thought he got more and more effective as the game went on. Held Costa. Now, held Costa, another difficult one to rate, because he was quiet overall for me. He had 39 touches, which is by far the fewest of the rest of the midfield, 20 fewer touches than the rest of the midfield. Yes, he came on early, he came off early, with 81 minutes, but still 20 fewer touches than the next lowest, which I think was Tyler Roberts with 58. Sorry, 19 actually. But that's quite, it shows quite a not a massive influence in terms of the whole game itself. Not really getting on the ball. Sort of only getting on the ball every 2 minutes. That's quite low, really. When you think of the quality Helder Costa has. Because look, he showed his quality at times today. He had some wonderful moments on that ball. I'm just looking here. 3 dribbles he completed yesterday. He completed 3 out of his 4 dribbles, more than anyone else on the pitch. 2 really, really good moments for me in that second half, where he picked the ball up on the halfway line, very, very close to the right touch line. He just skipped past one player, skipped past the second player, then he's into a central area then, and he's driving forward, and you saw the Blackburn centre-back, I think it was, I'm trying to think who it was now, I think it's Andrew Rebeo, he's looking right, he's looking left, and that's a big, big sign for a defender for me. He wasn't looking, he was looking at, do I need to go out and try and stop Helder Costa, or can I sort of stay here? And, he was panicking, he was looking at that thinking, are we going to get any help from a right back and a left back? His right back and left back is sort of being left trailing, trying to chase Helder Costa. And we had them panicking at times, and Helder Costa was driving forward fantastically in that moment. And that was a real key moment for me for Helder Costa. The pass was really good as well, really good way to pass into Jack Harrison. Jack Harrison blazed it over the bar. Ultimately, that could have been the assist of the season. It was an absolutely fantastic moment. And in the second half as well, he had another moment on that right sort of side where Lukavian fed him really well, took on 2 players, good ball into the box. Unfortunately, we didn't make most of it, but we need more of this of Helder Costa. We know he's got that quality. I might be being overcritical of Helder Costa, but I'm overcritical because he's a really, really good player. He's someone that, and I've got massive belief in Helder Costa as well, because I think at the minute he's definitely worth persisting with, absolutely 100%, if you want to call it persisting. He's 100% worth sticking with Helder Costa. No doubt in my mind about that. He is going to become the top player that we know he is. He was at Wolves and that lot. I think just the thing with me with Helder Costa is he doesn't look like scoring at the moment. He only got 1 shot off yesterday, and I think obviously with 1 key pass in the game as well, we need more of Helder Costa. He's got the quality to deliver more, so that's why I'm maybe being a little bit more critical on Helder Costa than I would be on other players. We know he's got that quality and he's showing glimpses of it. We just need a full 90 minutes off him, and it's going to come. It is going to come. Just keep the faith in that. Don't write off Helder Costa yet. For me, 6 out of 10, and he's just going to get better and better for me. Mateusz Klich, next person to rate, so starting with the central midfielders. So he started the game really well for me. Smart passing, intelligent use of the ball. 53 passes he completed yesterday, 87% accuracy, really, really good stuff. He's feeding the ball in dangerous areas as well, not as easy to make the every single pass. So good passing accuracy there. 62 touches on the ball, one of his highest in the whole season so far. 3 key passes, so very, very influential use of the ball. He was quiet at times though. I did mention this in the review that Holtby tracked him really well. He was always within 5 sort of yards from it. It was always having to be a case of Klich was sort of having to dribble past him, or seriously have to. It was a massive barrier to him. It was Holtby at times, and in the end, Klich's quality told in that sort of sense. Because I think the key thing was Lewis Holtby coming off. Lewis Holtby was really restricting Klich at times, especially at the start of that second half, because Klich just had 12 touches of the ball for the 25 minutes from the start of half time to sort of midway through the second half, and then Holtby went off and Klich was a lot more influential. But 12 touches in 25 minutes does show that at times he was a little bit quiet. But yeah, he finished the game well when Holtby went off. All in all, it wasn't Mateusz Klich at his best, but 7 out of 10 for me. Some really intelligent use of the ball. I loved the way we went deep, took on a player, passed it, and it just everything. He read the game really well yesterday for me, and he played a big part in the win yesterday for me as well. So his central midfield partner, Tyler Roberts. Every single time he gets on the ball, something happens. It feels like something's going to happen. It feels like he's having to take a player on. He's just going to stroll past the player, pick a pass. Just something's going to happen. To get a shot off. Something's going to happen every single time Tyler Roberts touches that ball. Wonderful vision and pass for the first goal. It's as good an assist, even though the stats will say it wasn't an assist. It was an assist for the goal. This is why you can't go off stats. If you go off Tyler Roberts' stats instead of goals and assists, it won't be that impressive. But if you actually watch Tyler Roberts, he's one of the most influential players in the league, and he's only going to get better and I still stand by it. This is why he's going to be the best player in the league for me. He drove forward the ball really, really well. It was the key to unlocking Blackburn in those first 30 minutes. When they were dropping deep and trying to restrict our spaces, Tyler Roberts was the man who was taking on players and kind of creating situations and spaces to open up and make it easier for ourselves and create chances. He was taking on players, unsettling Blackburn. That was the main thing. He unsettled Blackburn quite a lot. And I think the most telling thing was, like Jack Grealish last season, the only way most players can stop him is fouling him. We saw how so many times Holtby and Travis, they had good games for them too, but they had to foul Tyler Roberts quite a lot of tactical fouls, and some of them weren't even given. So I think if the referee had been a little bit more generous, maybe we'd have seen an even more influential performance of Tyler Roberts. Because I think, if you're on the booking and taking on and having to try and stop Tyler Roberts, you can be panicking a little bit. And he works hard as well. 3 tackles he won yesterday, which is among the highest on the whole pitch. Quite a second half, but again, still drove forward well. Another fantastic moment in that second half, where he took the ball at chest height, took it down, took on 2 or 3 players, and again, similar to how Costa, laid the ball off really well for Jack Harrison. Jack Harrison placed it wide. But again, 8 out of 10 for me. Wasn't quite as good as what he was against QPR, but again, still super influential. If he's only having a lot less touches than he normally would, and still having a massive influence on the game, that tells you a quality player for me. He came alive at the key moments for me, Tyler Roberts, yesterday. And that brings me on to Jack Harrison. Great work rate, another goal on his weak foot as well. And he does look super confident at the minute. He does back himself, he's getting himself into dangerous areas. He did miss 2 good chances in the game. I do think it's sort of his, if you're looking at what you want from a traditional winger, I don't think we massively got it yesterday from Jack Harrison. He only completed 40% of his dribbles, and he lost possession 9 times in the game, which is a lot. And in some really poor areas as well. Sometimes in our own half of the pitch, he was losing the ball. But again, we saw the work rate off him. He should have got another goal for me. Some of his decision making was a little bit off yesterday for me. But again, he played a part in the win. He did play a part. He was a little bit average by his own standards for me. I might get a bit of criticism for this rating, but I'll give him a 6 out of 10. He had the most shots of anyone on the pitch, and he did play his part. But all in all, I think we've seen a lot better off Jack Harrison over the last sort of 4 or 5 weeks than what he produced yesterday. But again, he still made a match-winning contribution. He's massively improved as a player for me, and he's a massive part of this team. He's one of the first names on the team sheet at the moment. And that brings me on to the last of the starters, Patrick Bamford. Got himself a goal, absolutely massive. Showed great character to take the penalties, as Jack's touched on in his match review. Showed great character to take that penalty, good penalty as well, bottom corner, pretty much unsavable. And lovely touch, fantastic moment of quality. This is what Patrick Bamford at his best does. He takes that touchdown, plays it into Jack Harrison. It's just absolutely perfect. Touch, vision, and just fantastic. Goal and assist, played a massive part in the win, didn't they? But all in all, over the 90 minutes, I thought he was quite quiet. He did make the vital contribution, but I thought at times he wasn't able to link up play over the 90 minutes as well as he normally would do. But again, made a massive part in the win, didn't he? But he lost the ball quite easily at times. 10 losses of possession, and again, offside 5 times. So he needs to improve on that element of his game a little bit. That element of his game has sort of lessened a little bit, in terms of his link up play and intelligent use off the ball, and that lot intelligent run and use on the ball, and that lot. I think that has kind of not been as good the last couple of weeks, but again, got himself a goal, assist, played a massive part in the win. And the last of the players to rate is Gaetano Berardi. He came on unexpectedly with 20 minutes to go. He wasn't as composed as Cooper and White. A lot of times, in better fashion, he was just getting that ball away. There was one moment in that second half where he was sort of in the final third. He's winning that tackle all day long, and he's just smashed it down the tunnel. And he's a character, isn't he? He's a character in this team. He's someone who likes a battle. We know he likes a battle. I don't even need to explain this. He read the situation as well. He wasn't quite as composed as Cooper and White. Again, he came on at a difficult time in the game. It's always difficult coming on as a defender when the game's sort of in the bounce a little bit at 2-1. Now the team's really dominating. He came on at a difficult time, and he sold the game out for us. And yeah, good performance off Gaetano Berardi. I'll go with 7 out of 10. Pablo and Leaf Davis got a couple of touches as well, but didn't really play enough minutes to seriously rate in this kind of analysis. So guys, that has been the player analysis of Leeds 2, Blackburn 1. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Make sure you let us know what you think of these videos. And yeah, I'm going to leave it there, guys, anyway. See you later.